Welcome back to Marketing Champions here in Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpoff, your host. Again, we're talking about marketing with marketing experts from around the country. And today we're talking with Cindy Ashton of Cindy Ashton Global from New York. And Cindy, welcome to our conversation today.
Well, hello, Howard. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me today.
Well, we are thrilled to have you as well and to learn a little bit more about you. Now, from what I gather from our conversation, from learning about you, you really focus people on how they speak and what they're just everything that people might be picking up on them when they are speaking. And so you do this in a lot of different ways. So how did you get started with this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, since I was a fetus, I swear this is not going to be a 20-minute conversation, but since I was a fetus, I've always known I was going to be a singer, dancer, actor. And when I was 19, I was already working with Broadway professionals. And as I was putting myself through university, I was flat broke and working a job, bagging groceries, $5.85 an hour, and thought, I have a skill set. Maybe I could teach people piano and singing and speaking. And so I put an ad in the Penny Saver. That's how it started. Over the years, I let go of teaching piano. I let go of teaching singing. And 25 years later, more than that, I am still training executives and salespeople and influencers on how to really speak from a place of power in all parts of their business so they can truly have the impact and grow their mission.
It really is a skill. It's a skill that can be taught. There are people who are definitely born with it, but others that can pick this up to make sure that they're able to sell better and speak better and really emote themselves when they're speaking to people individually. So how much has this been a challenge for people or people coming to you with questions because the way people interact over the course of the last couple of years because of COVID has really changed some of that dynamic?
Yeah, Howard, that's an excellent question. Even when you're born with it, I have discovered that a lot of people still have habits that take their power away. So when you talk about COVID hitting and the pandemic and we're on video all the time and how are we interacting, one of the biggest problems I see, even from people who are quote unquote born with it, who are naturally good talkers, naturally charismatic, the problem that I'm seeing is that because they're home, they're fidgeting. And so that's very distracting on camera, or they're distracted because there's stuff around them, or because they are at the computer even more and they're slunched over. That stress that ends up in the chest and in the body ends up directly influencing how the speaking voice, body language, and your presence come across on camera. And that could make or break a sale.
It really can. There's a lot of subtle things that happen with people and conversations, and it can change every type of experience you're having one-on-one with someone just in that one little mismotion, misword, misstep in conversation.
Yes. And Howard, because you're also a TV host, you understand that the camera picks up everything. It's different when you're networking in person, when you're in a conversation in person. If you are doing things that take away your power, it will have an effect. But because the camera picks up everything, it amplifies those losses of power and that body language and that voice by 10 times.
Yes, having a networking conversation in a darkened room, a lot different things can be missed and or moved on from. But yeah, in a camera
Yeah.
setting, on a stage when the lights are on you, it is very important to know how you are presenting yourself and know all the right things to say and do. What is the biggest fear that people have when speaking with you for the first time about themselves, about how they're either presenting themselves or what they fear they might be missing in the impression that they're giving to people?
That's a great question, Howard. A lot of people really struggle with feeling like they're being respected and heard. And so a lot of the times, and they feel very nervous then about speaking up. And 50% of the reason why people get nervous speaking is because they haven't figured out their talking points. They haven't figured out their messaging. And so the first thing that I do with clients is really build that messaging in and get it embodied. Because if they're memorized, the minute somebody memorizes, they're in their head. And if they make a mistake, the conversation is gone. So it's about getting that message down, embodying it, and trusting your own power and essence. And then we add in the speaking voice, the body language, and all those other pieces.
it really is part of a puzzle, and it's a moving piece of puzzle. But if you know how to put the pieces in together the right way, you really can make some real amazing things happen, and some really great connections in the process. So I'm sure there's
Yeah.
a lot more that we can dive into because of the great experiences that you've had. I personally love to hear more, but I want to appreciate what you shared with us, and thank you so much for joining us. And look forward to only bigger and better things coming from you. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Howard, and thanks to everybody watching.
And thank you all for joining us today. Really important information to know about how you present yourself, how things you need to think about while you're speaking, whether it's one-on-one with someone, whether it's in front of a group, whether it's in front of a camera. It's important to make sure your best self is always out there and that you are making people feel comfortable and heard, and then back and forth, and really making that connection. So there's great information about Cindy here on Daily Ad Brief, so please check that out. But go on, have a great rest of today, and we'll see you next time on Marketing Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.